So it'll probably change, but that's what it is.
Or I can say, we had Frozen first, or something like that. They can copy it.
Yes.
They copy
Frozen,
us.
Take that Disney. So our story begins on a frozen lake, and the camera's pointed straight down at the ice, and we see a fish swimming under the surface. The camera rotates, and we see more of the frozen lake, and then the camera cuts to our Eskimo. And he's sitting there ice fishing, looking really happy, and we see the fish kind of swim underneath him, and he feels a tug. And in a well-practiced gesture, he flings the fish out of the water, catches it, and he's feeling pretty happy with himself. He struts away home. But then behind him, we see a pair of eyes open from within the snow. And then it slowly emerges. And then like a dog shaking the water off after he's been in the pool, a Yeti shakes the snow off. And then he smells man flesh. He does the Grinch over to stalk his prey. So the Yeti makes his way to his home, his igloo. He ducks inside. And the Yeti's creeping on him. And he ducks down. And he starts thinking about all the ways he's going to devour and prepare this delicious-looking Eskimo to eat. And this is going to be really, paper cutout kind of design, really simplified. Maybe he can have a rotisserie-style Eskimo. Or maybe he can have an Eskimo pie.
Yeah.
Or maybe he could have an Eskimo hoagie style, and he just can't stand it. He's just so excited. Bursts out of the snow, doing the Yeti run. The Eskimo's like, whoa, what's that racket? He pokes his head out. And like a scared little mouse, goes back into his igloo, and he goes, and he rips the door off of his igloo. He turns around. And at this point, the Eskimo's just thinking that it's the end. And the Yeti is just approaching him. He's reaching. And the Eskimo thinks this is the end. Suddenly, they both look down, and the ice is cracking. And suddenly, splash! The Yeti sinks into the ice, and he starts splashing around, drowning in the icy water. The Eskimo is just shocked at how the tables have turned, and slowly, the Yeti starts to lose his strength, and he just sort of sinks, and he sees these eyes staring at him. And the Eskimo stares down. He's like, should I save this beast that was just about to eat me? I'm gonna do it. He grabs his fishing pole. He lassos the Yeti, hoists him out of the water. Hours later, so the Eskimo spends the night, and this would be like a time lapse where he's standing here, and you see part of it melting, and then if you cut to another part where he's sitting there like this, another part's melting, and he spends the entire night flying the Yeti. And after he's free from the ice, the Yeti's sitting there. And we see the Eskimo approach, and he's like, well, what's this? And the Eskimo offers him the fish he caught that morning. And he gives him a big Yeti, like, So then the next day, we see the Eskimo walking with another fish that he's just caught. And then we see the Yeti behind him catching an enormous fish. Boom, boom, boom. He made his own igloo, so they're neighbors, and then before they turn in for the night, they're like, hey friend, see you tomorrow. They both go in. As the sun sets, on a perfect day, friends forever. Yeah.